let's go Snowfall first. Go Snowfall.
All right. Opening scene for the first episode of the 5th season of Snowfall. We got the whole Len Bias situation, which as sports fans, I know you know quite a bit about. I know a little bit about. Obviously, a very tragic situation with Len Bias. Obviously, he got drafted. What was it, number 2? By the Boston Celtics, and I think he got drafted from Maryland, if I'm not mistaken. Was that the college he was playing?
Where did he go to? I don't think it was Maryland. Where did he go?
Let's check it out real quick. You know what I'm saying?
I'm about to say, I literally have a computer right here.
I got the joint right here.
Sitting over here trying to scour my brain. Len Bias.
Len Bias went to Maryland, bruh.
Maryland. Okay, there you go. Terrapins.
Okay. So he went to Maryland, got drafted number 2. Obviously, celebrating it in his dorm room. Took a little too much coke to the head. Obviously, died of a heart attack.
Heart attack. Yeah, sick, man. That was, and then to be a recruit of that stature, right? Like next Michael Jordan. That was the kind of praise that he got. It really kind of shook people, especially because of the point in time in the crack phase that we were at that point. So it was just now becoming like it was already in the cities, right? Already in the streets. It was now everybody can see where it's coming from. Everybody can see where all of these random motherfuckers sleeping on the streets, breaking into houses, stealing VCRs, where they coming from and why. You know what I'm saying? Like they're starting to put 2 and 2 together. So, also another thing that I feel like they haven't touched on yet, but they gonna have to, and I pray for one of these characters that I think that is gonna touch the AIDS epidemic, right?
Oh, we definitely talk about that.
AIDS epidemic, like. Yeah, we're going to have to start talking about that too. We're going to have to, because obviously that it was kind of how like COVID was in 2020. Didn't nobody know anything about it. Everybody's spreading misinformation, and nobody really know. And it's so stigmatized that nobody wants to talk about it, right? So people are walking around thinking they got a summer flu. And you know what I'm saying? You might have a little something extra than a summer flu. Peaches.
Okay. Way to just hint at what I was going to throw at you a little later.
No, that's fine.
Okay. So we got, the crack epidemic. We got Reagan going fucking nuts. We're in LA. And, racial tensions is very high in LA specifically. Gangs is being introduced. The crash units is being introduced. It's a lot going on in LA in about 1985, 1986. It's definitely a lot going on. So with that in the back of our minds, let's talk about Franklin, man. Franklin's obviously very clearly leveled up. He's out here fucking flying planes. He's got a
pilot license. I'm like, okay.
Man's just
boy
John
up here.
You know what I mean?
Top Gun, I see you, Goose.
So he's out here doing big things. He's got a wife, it seems, Veronique, and soon to have a kid, apparently. So
very, I don't even know what to call her. Like Hotep astrology driven, very, into her chakras. You know what I mean? Very earthy. I wonder where he stumbled upon her.
Who knows? Hopefully they'll get into a little bit of a backstory about where, they kind of started to get together and things like that.
We'll get to it. Oh, yeah, in due time.
Moneybags. He's got his own, real estate business and everything going on. Like, this is a Franklin we haven't seen yet. Like, obviously, as we seen him at the end of last season, he's at the top of the drug game. But this is a Franklin that, he's in all sorts of just different shit.
He's on his way out. He's trying to pave his way out. He's 24 years old. He got more money than he could ever spend in a lifetime. He got influence. He got legitimate businesses. He has assets out the wazoo. He wants to sit up and chill and raise his kids and relax for the rest of his life. And I get it. I understand it.
Big facts. Hey, shout out to Chillmonger. What's going on? Hopefully we're not.
What up, bro?
Spoiling for a lot of people in the chat, it looks like.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure.
Need to hurry up and watch Need to hurry up and watch. You know what I mean? It's all good. Okay, so that's Franklin. That's everything that's kind of going on with him. Like I said, he's got a little family on the way and whatnot. Let's talk about Leon. Leon seems to be head of the Crips now. Like he seems to be the street king out here in the projects. What'd you think about the scene with him and the guy who stole for the Jays, the Jordan 1s?
Just probably tales of a time past, because that's just unfortunately not, that situation wouldn't have played out like that today. Unfortunately, you don't have OGs that have the mindset to say that, you know what, I gotta punish you because I can't let this go unanswered. But on the same strength, it'd be ashamed if I scratched you off this earth over the $100 that you stole to buy these shoes. Right.
Yeah.
So like I respected that, but unfortunately that's just not where we at, because if you were shooting that in Ghost, Mecca probably would have snuffed him out right then and there. like you stole $100 from me? 100 cuts.
Even that's better than what would happen in real life. He'd be dead. Or
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's a crazy situation. Okay. We talked about. What do you think about the? You hear me?
Yeah, I got you now. Yep.
Right, cool. What do you think about Grady, the new Teddy? It seems like.
So Grady likes to have fun. Grady likes to kick it. He likes his coke. He likes his women. He likes his black women. Yeah, they gonna have to chill, but they like his black women. Grady is a much easier going guy, and it immediately when Franklin pulled up to his house, and I seen that he was the new connect, right? He was like, "Oh yeah, your country." He talked about increasing the buy. He was like, "Yeah, your country appreciates you." So I'm like, "All right." So that's his new plug, right? That's his new CIA guy. But when I seen how he was set up in comparison to Teddy/Reed. I can understand why now Franklin's been able to move the way he has, been able to set himself up, because Teddy is less interested in controlling Franklin as an asset and more interested in reaping the benefits of his position.
Yeah.
Which that can be mutually beneficial if everybody understands each other. You know what I mean? So it seems as though Grady afforded Franklin the freedom to try to set himself up after the drug game.
It seems to me that this guy is very much in the vein of the guy we saw before Teddy. Can't remember his name for whatever reason, but he is of that exact same lifestyle, just living fast and doing whatever he really wants to. Did not think I would see Black Diamond in Dallas this early. Did not think that I would see Grady knocking off Black Diamond. I did not think that was going to happen.
Little nuts. Also, was Shorty the one who pressed him at the party when he first pulled up? So was that Grady's wife? Because it seemed like they had that little exchange, right? So like, she walked up and said, "Do you have the coke?" And he was like, "Nah, Franklin's just here." Blah. Say skip. And so Black Diamond like, she rude. And so here go Grady like, "Shh, just let her walk off. Just let her go. Shh. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it later. I'm like, hold on, wait. So that's his girl? That's his wife? Grady getting it, boy. I can't be mad at Grady. I cannot be mad at him.
I have a sneaky feeling that Homegirl is going to pop up at some point.
What up, Perp?
Perp in the chat. What's going on, Perp? Yeah, I have a feeling that she's going to probably show up again at some point for some reason. I don't know why, but we will probably see her again. I got a sneaky feeling about that.
We'll get there. We know why, but I mean, we got to see her again. Probably.
Okay. Likely. Yeah. No, we know why. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see. So we seen Louis and Jerome horseback riding, buying guns from Avi. Yeah, no.
Buying thoroughbreds.
Like, bro, what is Jerome doing?
Out here surprised her with 2 stallions. That's baller status. I can't be mad.
They're very content with being each other's everything.
Yeah.
For the most part. Like at this point, they are Bonnie and Clyde, and They have each other, and that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they're making a lot of money doing it. So
They have a more cohesive relationship now. I wonder what changed because he wasn't on that shit. Jerome was not trying to stay in the drug game forever. And
yep.
somewhere in between them going to Arkansas. Also, why are they back in LA? What the hell happened in Arkansas that quickly? Like, was it really just like a quick setup shop and then we was coming right back to LA anyways? Or I'm
I was gonna
wondering.
say I think there's still, you know, a heavy hand in the whole Arkansas situation. We just haven't really seen it yet. But it seems to me that Louis is running the club. That's kind of her thing as well. So, you know, she's gotta kind of stay at least 1 foot in LA for the most part.
Sure.
Speaking of being in the club, we also see a new character, a new cop. I believe his name was Detective Bullet.
Fucking.
Any thoughts on Crash, homeboy? Any thoughts on Officer Tenpenny head ass?
Yeah. Fuck boy. fuck boy. But I got some weird vibes from bro when Louis had to go talk to him. You know what I mean? At the club. Got some weird vibes. I don't want to say what I'm thinking because I respect Louis too much. Right? But she was giving off some ooh yeah, Mr. Officer vibes. You know what I mean? I wasn't feeling it.
Yeah. No,
I wasn't
I
feeling
kind of
it.
picked up on that as well. A little bit.
And for him to be in their establishment, knowing Jerome around the corner, and to be talking so tough about what he need from them and what he need them to do, and if you want your protection, blah 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 blah. Like, what's up with that? What's up with that? I do like the way they're building the story though, like kind of jumping ahead and telling the story backwards a little bit, and then eventually you'll know they'll finish it out going forward. But I like that because they're going to use the in between last season and the start of this season to kind of build the season up, and then on the back half of the season, when everything comes to a head, that's when we'll get the more recent, we'll get the carry on for the current storyline. So I like that. I think that's pretty dope. A good way to flesh out the time jump. They didn't just jump and try to tell us through the dialogue what happened, and we never get to see it. I think we're going to get to see a lot of the questions that we had at the end of last season answered eventually. Yeah.
I think their intent in the first episode was we're going to show you just a bunch of like not crazy shit, but like shit that's going to make you hooked into this season right away. And then they immediately slowed down quite a bit so that they can start building into the rest of, the season. And we're not going to see like a lot of crazy shit probably until I would probably say episode 6, 7, maybe even later a little bit. But when it does come, it's going to be a ride. I think episode 8, 9, 10, it's going to be nuts.
Yes,
for
sure.
I'm definitely here for that. We see, excuse me, we see Oso maybe once, twice in this episode, very sparingly.
Trying to live his damn life, not trying to be involved in none of this shit.
Yeah.
Least of all, fucking Teddy.
Yeah, because he's with new homeboy. He's with Grady now, and he seems to be okay. He seems to be living a decent life. He's with his family now. He's seemingly gave up looking for Lucia. According to what he told Teddy,
which is weird, and which I don't totally believe either. I don't totally believe that because what was that build up to try to find her just to get the information that you seek, or maybe the information that he saw he didn't like something. I can't imagine what he could have saw that would have made him not pursue her or follow through. But I don't know. I don't totally believe him on that.
Okay. Any thoughts on him and his family? I mean, everything seemed cool on that end, at least.
Yeah, man. I mean, the poor little tortured boys, dog. Right? Like, thank God they got somebody to walk them to school because them nightmares are something else.
Yeah, no, that's a fact.
Them nightmares are something else.
That is a fact. I think I've avoided Rob long enough. Rob is going through it. White boy Rob.
Oh man,
Uh,
Rob was doomed from jump. Rob was doomed.
he is going through it. Apparently, he's got a homeboy who's trigger happy as fuck. And I didn't think he was going to shoot homeboy. I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought he was all talking. He just let it go. Unfortunately, this
That
causes. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I knew that they was gonna kill Rob when he shot homeboy. When he shot that white boy, I was like, they gotta kill Rob. Because first of all, both of y'all cracked out, right? Y'all in the party fucking basing, right? So that strike one, right?
The fact that y'all out here having a party and you know what I mean, going nuts.
Strike two is that the person you shot you a valley boy, you know what I'm saying? You shot you a surfer boy whose parents probably run a hedge firm out there somewhere. So strike two. Strike three, homeboy knows about the CIA. I can't trust you. I can't trust you. I can't trust you to take care of yourself. I can't trust you to keep good people around you. And I can't trust you to keep your mouth shut. And you a junkie. So it was bad for him. It was kind of doomed for him when Franklin seen what kind of shape he was in. Because I could just see the wheels turning on Franklin. He like, man, I really don't want to do this, man. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Let me try to get him into rehab. Let me make sure he go smoke the dude. Let me go with him. You know what I'm saying? And then he finally heard homeboy when they found him out in the house. When they tracked him down, he heard him say, "Oh, I thought your CIA friend could help us out." That's when he decided. It was like, yeah it's over. It's over. Yeah. It's done. I can't. I just promised his wife
Veronique
that I would do whatever I need to, and if that means scraping out my my white boy homie who can't leave the coke alone. Yeah. Sorry, bro. He was even sitting there, even when he's sitting there talking to him, he like, yeah, man, you can get cleaned up. Like, promise me. He like, oh yeah, man, that'll really happen. I'm like, nigga, do you want to die? You want to die right here, right now? You want him to shoot you on his mama's couch?
He'll do it.
The hell is wrong with you? Act like he don't know who Franklin Saint is. He's like, oh, yeah, that's gonna help. I'm like, oh, he don't want to live. He don't want to live. Life is too hard.
No, that's a fact.
Life is too hard for him.
Yeah, it seems like to me that, especially with this situation, Franklin is very much in survival of the fittest mode because he's almost out. You know what I mean? So he's got to do everything possible to take care of any kind of loose ends. Yeah. Like I said, it very much reminds me of Ghost when he was trying to get out of the game.
When he was fuck everybody Ghost.
Now Ghost was going on to be a fucking, was it senator or some shit?
Senator, yeah.
Like a lot more fantastical, obviously, but it very much reminds me of that same situation of,
sure,
look, I'm getting out and all this shit got to go.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
As we are seeing, Rob, we see two other characters that I got to ask you about. First character, Wanda is clean as hell.
Ain't she? Well, except for her job.
Okay. But she's clean from the drugs.
Yeah. No, she's sober. She's sober.
So I thought that was crazy. Besides, obviously, the whole situation with her at the call room shit, like that was fucking nuts.
Hey, so like I always knew those places existed, right? We used to see the commercials pop on late night, and you know what I'm saying? Call 1-800 girls. You know what I'm saying? But like just to see the reality of what that used to look like 7 women sitting in a room all talking about, oh yeah, make it last, daddy. like what?
Yeah. And like the most seedy of places. Roaches
y'all sitting in a conference room with rotary phones, listening to niggas panting on the other end of the phone. That's nuts.
Nasty.
That is nuts. They ain't even give them a cubicle. You saying that?
You gotta look across the table at another person that's doing the exact same thing as you. 2 people to either side doing the same shit.
I was say, imagine looking somebody dead in your face saying the shit that you gotta say. Oh yeah, pull it out. Keep going. Yeah, keep going.
Oh no, I'm cool.
That is nuts.
Cool. Nope. No thank you.
Oh my God.
But it's the only thing she got. You know what I mean? And I think she's dealing with the obvious ramifications of her past, right? She can hardly get any place to stay. She's got to stay at Franklin's mama's house. You know what I mean? She's got to work jobs that literally nobody else will do. because everybody knows of her past. She has a 2-year gap where she was just out getting high.
It's a hard knock life.
Yeah.
And she don't even. Oh, I wonder. We would probably have to talk to somebody who's like in AA or something like that. But like, I understand rigorous honesty, but like, what they literally tell you to sabotage yourself from getting a job, like, I don't think they require you to tell them that, like, hey, I've been out here on crack for the last 2 years, so like, damn, why she can't just say, I was
She
ill.
can't, but she's got a 2-year gap. Like,
I was ill.
Something happened there.
I was sick.
Yeah, you was ill. You was stuffing your nose. All right.
Well, everybody got to know the business. She done changed her life up, and now she got to go tell every employer that she used to be out here, sucking dick for money behind the 7-Eleven to get her fixed. Why she got to do that?
She got look. If she's good at lying, maybe she can make it happen.
Because AA says so. Rigorous honesty, huh? That sounds like self-sabotaging.
Look, man, I wasn't alive during the 80s, so I don't know how they was giving it up. But I know me, I'm a good liar when it comes to job interviews. So I'm gonna make something up.
All-star. I mean,
the other person I wanted to ask about was Peaches. What's up with Peaches, bro?
I think Peaches got that shit, bro. I think Peaches got it.
There's a lot of people saying he had AIDS. I took it for he was using some of the drugs. That's what I thought when I first saw it. But then that
nigga was sick. He's sick.
He was kind of going through it. There was I don't know, his demeanor just wasn't Peaches. You know what I mean? He was just he was
looked like he was going through it.
Yeah. So okay, so you think bro got AIDS?
Bro made them hold the cream to get the cream.
You want to shout out some of the people in the chat, bro? Perp minded.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you all.
Shout out Low Key Cave. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
A lot of people that be in the comments heavy. You know what I'm saying? A lot of our supporters. Patience Anderson. Sure. I know she been waiting on the live stream. Shout out. Yeah, man. We decided to finally do the live. Marcus was scared to do the live for like 3 weeks, so
Not true.
Marcus was scared, y'all. He was shook, and he kept moving the date back.
Blouse, boy.
He kept moving the date back. That's all it was,
Blouse.
But we definitely glad to have y'all here. We got 10 viewers in the chat right now. Shout out to everyone.
Sure.
We appreciate y'all. We are going to continue with Snowfall. So if you have not seen Snowfall, I got nothing for you, fam. We got to continue through episode 2. So we've gone over all of the characters. We pretty much set the table for the environment that we're in right now. Was there any thoughts about anything else that happened in episode 1 at least? Because I think we pretty much tackled everything that happened in episode 1.
I believe so. Because he gets his big news in episode 2.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much it in episode 1.
Okay. Episode 2 to me was mostly about Teddy. So we saw Teddy for a very short glimpse in episode 1 when he pulled up at Grady's house, checking the meter on a Sunday, which who's working on a Sunday? Come on, fam. What you got
Grady's
going on?
antennas they weren't down because he questioned it, but like I probably would have followed up on bro and seen what the hell was going on with that. Like, come on, Mr. CIA man.
I think Grady was hungover, not in his right mind.
For sure.
But yeah, no, for sure. Probably should have took a little bit more initiative and checking out what was going on, bro. But he didn't. It's unfortunate. So in episode 2, after we saw him do that in episode 1, it kind of seems like Teddy is just for whatever reason extremely hungry to get back into his role
because he's addicted. He's an addict.
But is he addicted to his job?
He's addicted to. I don't even know if it's just adrenaline. He's addicted to what that exchange gave him between him and Franklin and the Contras, you know what I mean, and the CIA. that life. He's probably the lifestyle. That's what he's addicted to, more so than the job, because he's willing to do it, compromising himself. Right? Like that's not what they would. That's not how they would teach you to operate or to go through it. They would not tell you to act. Well, I guess no, they would tell you to act against your own interests as a CIA agent for sure. Yeah, they absolutely would. Yeah. So I don't know. I think maybe it is just the job, like his whole duty to America bullshit. But I feel like that only holds so much weight. Like he's done so much wrong that had nothing to do with preserving the safety of America or whatever he tells himself to legitimize the fuck shit that he does. But I don't know. Is it the job, or is it just the lifestyle that he's addicted to? I think it's the lifestyle. I think it's the drugs. I think it's the money. Not so much of him spending the money, but making it. You know what I'm saying? I think that relationship, that job that he has makes him feel like he matters in the grand scheme of things. Like he's an influence. You know what I'm saying? When it's all said and done, Reed Thomas swayed things. He was a guy who's remembered when history is being wrote. I think that's what it is, more so than duty to country. It just seems very generic.
I will say it's the job for a couple reasons. For one, he is literally the one guy who's been put in this position who hasn't acted and acted with any kind of corruption, just like the other two guys that we've seen do it, specifically right. Grady. So he's the one guy who, if we're talking lifestyle, who hasn't fully indulged into the lifestyle as much as they have. Now, obviously, he had a little, drug problem himself, and he had to
drinking,
go
all
away.
kind of shit.
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, he has indulged in the lifestyle a little bit, but
not to mention that you got caught up by a reporter that you then had to murder.
Well, the only person he murdered
leaked your identity. Yeah, don't get me started, bro. Don't get me started. Franklin has to snuff Reed immediately. It has to happen. He got to do it for all.
I think he was already ready to, but we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah, no, for my boy.
So
for the Panther.
The other reason why I feel like he's addicted to the job more so is because specifically when he went and killed bro, when he killed Grady, he specifically told him, like, look, you're not good at your job. And so that's why I'm here and I'm back to like do the job the way it's supposed to be done.
Fuck you, Reed. Fuck you. No, you're there because you're obsessed. And that nigga had to go because he was in your way. Damn his job performance. Go live your life, bruh. Go
with your family.
Life. How he hasn't. That's why I'm saying, like, how he hasn't come. If it was, duty to country and all of that, how he hasn't come to the realization that he's a cog in a machine that will never stop and will never change. It's almost insanity. So that's why I'm saying, like, it can't just be. He's the ultimate patriot. He's goddamn, what's Falcon and Winter Soldier? Goddamn U.S. agent. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that can't be all of it, because even those soldiers, when they stop seeing the virtue in their government, that's when you get those radical patriots, the motherfuckers that tried to kidnap the governor of Michigan. But that's not where he's at. He's still willing to bend over backwards for Uncle Sam, even if it means leaving himself out to dry should anything go wrong. Who does that? Addicts. The only people who do shit beyond their own safety, that does stuff that literally puts them into jeopardy because they need it to survive, because they're dependent on it, are addicts. Reed is a goddamn junkie.
Okay.
Who would be so? It's not even that he wants to go back and work for the CIA and basically be a goddamn disavowed whore. You know what I'm saying? Like he's definitely pimping himself out to the CIA because they can no longer have you on a payroll, right? What other rationale could you have for doing that?
Let me ask you this. do you think Reed has realized that he basically has nothing besides this job? Like, he can't go back to any family. He got his brother killed, so his dad doesn't want nothing to do with him. His actual family, his wife and kids, don't really want anything to do with him.
Grady hit every guy. I don't know if he was like, because he knew of Reed, right? He was like, oh, you're the guy. So maybe he fucked around and like looked in his file and looked up shit about his personal life and shit like that and got all of them nuggets so they could fuck with him if he ever saw him. I thought that was beautiful how he came out with everything. Like, your kid probably fucking hates you. Your wife is probably fucking somebody else. You're probably super obsessed with this. I was like, bingo, 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 every single one. Right, correct. Every single one. He was just reaming him off. I was like, ooh.
But
either
all
he's
that,
done I was like, either he done a psych eval on you, or man, boy, you were just you're an open book. It's plain to see.
Yep. So obviously, as it pertains to that situation, Reed kills Grady and then takes over, goes and meets up with Franklin, basically tells him, look, I'm back, I'm the new guy. Also tells him not to call him Teddy, but not to call him Reed,
Not to call him
Reed,
Teddy.
But not before they have a sit down, and Franklin, shook, offers him a cigar because he wanted to get to his Glock. Any thoughts on that whole situation?
He should have just shot that nigga, right? What are we wasting time for? Just shoot him. Also, it's very unclear to me whether or not Franklin knows about Alton, right? I think they confirmed that Teddy killed Alton in Cuba. Kinda. I mean, he said because of what you did to his father in Cuba last year.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like he killed him. That's what we thought he did. He says, I don't know what you're talking about. So, could it be a deep fake? Could he actually have like moved Alton somewhere deeper? Maybe Cuba just wasn't deep enough for Reed. I don't know. I think he killed him. And for that, he must die. He must die.
I mean, it looks like we got some people in the chat that think Reed got to go as well. So,
John Walker, thank you, Chillmonger. Goddamn, Reed, John Walker. Yes.
Reed John Walker is nuts.
Yes, that's him.
Don't you call my guy Reed bootleg Captain America, all right?
They are one and the same. They act the same. They literally act the same. But it's unclear if Franklin actually knows about that. Like, the impression I got is that it was like, fuck, here come this nigga again. He about to mess up my plans. Not, it's you, Reed Thomas, who murdered my father. You know what I mean? I didn't get that vibe. So, but he's been talking to Sissy. So what the hell's going on? You've been talking to your mom, so how would he not know whether or not his dad is still there?
Because the connection is terrible. The phone connection is awful. You remember that?
But you can get out that y'all pregnant. You don't think she can get out? Your father's dead. Your father's dead.
But he barely got out that she was pregnant.
I would have been sitting there on that fucking microphone all day. Your father's dead. Your father's dead. Your father's dead. Acknowledge when you hear this. Your father is dead. Dead. That's I would have learned Morse code. Alton is deceased. Stop.
You gonna send bro a telegram?
Did it. Stop. Kill that white boy. Stop.
Okay.
Ain't no way. How you just sitting in Cuba by yourself and you over here? Oh, Franklin, it's so nice to hear your voice. What? Nah, man. Hold on. How? I think so. If he does know, then he's playing it a lot cooler than I would be able to, for sure.
I mean, you got to think if Reed killed Grady, ain't no telling what he's going to do to Franklin as well. So he had to play that situation cool, because he could have just showed up and iced his ass.
But why? Why would he do that? And then who would run the Los Angeles pipeline for him? Who would he then be able to plug into that spot seamlessly with all the other buyers that know the area? Like,
That's a fact.
Yeah, he couldn't just walk in there and snuff him like that. But he did come in there and strong army. He came in there and laid down the law, which he gonna have to get that man up out of here, man. He gonna have to. Reed gotta go.
Too early prediction. Obviously, there's going to be a war between the two. It's going to be like a Cold War situation. I feel like between Franklin and Reed at this point, especially if Franklin knows that Reed did what he did. Who wins the battle?
Well, it depends on one little piece of information to me, because I feel like if Franklin had this information right now, Reed would already be gone. The fact that Reed is working for the CIA unofficially, and that if Reed comes up missing, I think if Franklin knew that today and understood that, we got no issues. Now that I'm thinking about that, that's why he killed Grady. That's why he killed Grady. It wasn't just the insult, and it wasn't that he was bad at his job. If Franklin was able to speak to Grady at some point, and Grady found out or was privy to the information that Reed was up for grabs, like he out here in the wind, basically freelancing. Not freelancing because he's doing it at the behest, but he's not official. He's not on the books. The fucking hey, erase him so they'll send us another Grady. Get him up out of here real quick so we can get us another Grady, because who's protecting him? Who is protecting him? He's just a guy with a porn stash now. So I think that is the piece of information that's going to kind of drive all of this. If Franklin's going to tread lightly as long as he thinks Reed has the full brunt of the U.S. government behind him. And that only stretches so far for Reed right now because of what happened last season. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm going with Saint, right? Because I'm rooting for Saint. But it's going to be tough. And he is going to have to be privy to that information, because otherwise he's not going to make a move on Reed.
That's fair. Now, that's given the situation that this is a Cold War between the two, and that they use their resources, between Louis, Jerome, and all the characters, basically, right? Mm-hmm. That's if that's the situation. Now, what I also think is a little bit more likely is that this is going to be a fucking world war, and everybody is going to just be feuding from all different places. Right, you got, like I said, Louis Jerome, you got Leon, you got fucking Franklin and his family, you got Reed. Now that I'm throwing,
it's more crazy to know that while all of this shit is going on in the U.S., like literally the supply where they getting all this shit from is in flux. Because you're talking about 86, so you're talking about Escobar starting to slide, the Medellin cartel getting ready to go belly up, the Cali cartel getting ready to move in and be the main supplier of cocaine. Been watching a lot of Narcos. That's where I get my cocaine history. You know what I mean? But it's crazy to think that, like, while all of this turmoil is happening stateside because of, stuff like Len Bias or that shooting that happened to the white boy, there's turmoil on the other side of it as well, even getting it here. Like power struggles, governments being or not governments, but cartels being toppled, you know what I'm saying? Titans of the game being thrown in jail or killed. There's a lot of shit going. The 80s was really, truly a crazy ass time.
See, that's the other thing, is that we are in LA at this point. So, it's mid 80s. It gets fucking worse. Tensions get higher. You got Rodney King, the LA riots. You got all the shit that happens after all of this, or maybe they do another time jump, or maybe it just continues through that. Maybe they show that later on in the season. Maybe
there are so many side plots to this era because there was just so much shit going on. Reagan, the war on drugs, crack epidemic, AIDS. You just had so much shit going on in the world in the 80s, bro. There's a lot going on,
and it doesn't get any better in the 90s. That's all I'm gonna say on that. At least in LA. So.
Sure. Yeah.
think we covered everything. You got any other thoughts on Snowfall at all?
I don't. Let's ask the chat.
What's up with the chat? What's up
Let's
with
ask
our
the
what we at
chat.
nine viewers? What's up, everybody? What y'all think about episode 1 and episode 2 for Snowfall?
What's
If
up,
y'all seen
Miss
it, I
Miss
know.
Patience Anderson? What's going on? Thank you for joining.
Filmmonger.
It's the 80s stories. Chillmonger saying that the stories are just crazy or were crazier because they hadn't gotten out or what? I bet it's just as crazy today as the 80s. It's just as crazy today as it was in the 80s. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Quaaludes existed.
Quaaludes is nuts.
There was no insider trading laws.
I don't know, bro.
80s was a crazy time, bro.
It's still a crazy time though.
80s
You know what I
was
mean?
different.
But everything that's happening now is basically things that kind of spiraled out of control from the 80s. So he might got a point, but I think it's because of the shit that happened back then.
I mean, sure. I mean, COVID compared to AIDS. I mean,
Again, I wasn't alive